It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag Utah Jazz.
It's disappointing because you leave with this feeling. The fourth quarter is the most recent feeling that we have, but I thought it was 3 quarters of really good basketball by our team. I thought the fourth quarter, a few turnovers at times that hurt us, but to come out of the fourth quarter, we scored 32 points in the fourth quarter. I feel like the offensive side of the ball is playing pretty well. Defensively tonight, the fourth quarter cost us.
That's Will Hardy talking about the Jazz. Yeah, it cost you, but I think it would have cost you more if you would have won. It's the serious stuff here. We can laugh about it. DJ thinks it's funny. I think it's serious that they need to lose, and they did. They came up huge in the fourth quarter. The Blazers scoring 41 points and the Jazz only 32, which is not bad. I shouldn't say only, but they lose by 2. And the youngsters played well, man. Every up and down. I don't know that I can look at any of the guys who are 23 and under and say, wow, he didn't really make a contribution. Except for Taylor Hendricks and Keontae George, and neither of them played. So, of course, they're not going to make one. Other than that, it was an entertaining game. They had it going on for a bit there, and they did not lose. All right. They did not win, I should say. I'll take that. I'll take that any day. They fall to 7-22. They need to keep losing because they need that draft pick. That is faux show, as the kids say. They're back in action tomorrow against the Sixers at the Delta Center. 7:30 is the tip-off. 6:30 with Jay Scott and Timmy Lacombe right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Let's move on to the NBA.
Hashtag NBA.
A bunch of games. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This guy's an MVP candidate. 45 points as the Thunder come from behind and win. That game was on NBA TV. I was flicking back and forth on that. I got caught up in some bowl games that I couldn't name you 2 or 3 guys on the team except for Kansas State, but they were exciting games. We'll get to that in a second. So other than that, I saw that the Wizards won. That's good news for the Jazz as the Jazz continue to battle for the worst record in the league. Yeah. That is good news. Absolutely. Some other stuff. Man, Grizzlies scored 155 points. Wow. Man, that's a team record, isn't it? It's got to be.
It was a team record, yes.
Yeah, that's just incredible when you go along that lines. Pat Riley says the Heat ain't trading Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler says he wants out. There's been all sorts of rumors. The agent refuting the sources guys on ESPN and going back and forth. So you got that thing going on there. And the Pistons won 2. Pistons are not bad, so I don't know that the Jazz will be in contention with them. And the Sixers on Christmas Day, they beat the Celtics when they got their guys that they're pretty good. Their guys being, of course, Embiid, Maxey, and Paul George, and the rest of the gang. They'll be in town here for the game tomorrow night. All right, college basketball, conference play starting up.
Hashtag college basketball.
You got Utah State facing San Diego State. Utah State picking up a nice win over the weekend, pretty much blowing out St. Mary's up there in St. Mary's, Moraga. Yeah, that was a nice win for them. Now back in action. They already got that win a couple weeks back over Wyoming. Tip-off set 4 p.m. And we'll have the action with Scott Gerard on the call on the KSL Sports Zone beginning at 3:30. UVU also will host Bethesda at 2 p.m. on ESPN+. Let's move on to the NFL.
Hashtag NFL.
What a snoozer of a game last night, huh? The Seahawks 6-3 over the Bears. Okay.
Wait, there was a game? What?
Yeah. I saw the score. I thought, I don't really even want to watch this. And
it was
I didn't.
Brutal. Because I'm with you, PK. I was watching a lot of bowl games, and I was like, maybe I should check out the NFL game. I pulled up my phone, looked at the score, and said, nope.
Right. That's precisely what I did, too. We saw on, Christmas Day, the Chiefs routing the Steelers. And how about this? The Ravens 31-2. That's an odd score there. 31-2. Lamar Jackson in that game. I watched all of that game. He looked awesome. Extending plays, and he wasn't looking to run. He was looking to make the throw. And I don't know that I've seen every single game of his. I've seen many highlights of his, obviously. I can't imagine that he played much better in any of his other games than he did on that particular game against the Texans. Just looked incredible. And I think that they're a legitimate contender for the Super Bowl, for sure. I think in a one-game situation, obviously to me, I'm still going with the Chiefs. I've been saying it all season until I see otherwise, see them lose. Then they're out, obviously, if they lose. But at this point, to me, I put Baltimore in that discussion, in that serious discussion. Obviously, Buffalo. We'll see what happens in a couple of weeks as we what's this? This is the next to the last week season of the regular season coming down here. Some games. So we got a couple games tomorrow as they move over to Saturdays. You've got the Chargers and Patriots, Broncos and Bengals, and Cardinals and Rams. And then Sunday, Cowboys, Eagles, I guess. But both quarterbacks going to be out. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to start. Talking about Pickett, the kid who played at Pittsburgh, being in there. Packers and Vikings. Yeah, that's a huge right there on Sunday. That is in the later game. And then you got the Falcons and Commanders. Commanders doing well with Jaden Daniels there at quarterback. How about this story? Longtime NFL quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. He won a state title as a high school coach in Miami. And he's returning to play for the Lions as a backup to golf. That's an interesting story right there. Did well as a coach. When I saw his name pop up, I thought, oh, is he going to get a college job already after doing that? But no, he's going to go back and make some more money in the NFL. Good for him. Okay, let's move on to the Cougars.
Hashtag BYU.
Oh, yeah. Big time tomorrow. Number 17 versus 23. That's BYU versus Colorado at the Alamo Bowl tomorrow. Kickoff 5:30 p.m. We'll be talking about this all morning. Really looking forward to this game. I think this has as much sizzle as any game, not a playoff game. I think it's right there with any one of them. And it might even be better. And obviously with the local angle for us, it is better. But I'm talking about for people who are not working or fans of these two teams that they might want to watch this game either way. And Colorado's a very entertaining ball club to watch play. Shedeur Sanders, I think, is a marvelous quarterback. And obviously Hunter doing his thing. And then the Cougars, man, 10-2, move to 11-2. Any way you slice it, 11-2 is a great season. 9 times out of 10, you'd take that, unless maybe you're Alabama or some of these other teams that doesn't include a playoff inclusion. You would take 11-2. The Cougars have this opportunity. I don't even know what the line is. You know what it is, Yak?
I thought it was Colorado by 3. That may have changed.
Okay. Cougar pregame show with our guys, Alex Keary and somebody named Jake Hatch. It'll begin at 4:30.
That guy's a hack.
And then do the... What'd you say?
So that guy's a hack.
Oh, our guy? No way. Oh, man. This is your time to shine. I'm really looking forward to this game. I'm not joking here. This is something that I'm excited to watch. Let's move on to college football.
Hashtag college football.
Okay, the games that I was talking about that I got sucked into. Toledo beating Pittsburgh 49-46. They say it a bowl record 6 overtimes. I mean, it could be one play, 2 plays max. You could score the 2-point conversion. They could score the 2-point conversion, and that counts as an overtime. So to me, it's just one overtime extended until they get a winner, because it's not like you're playing a 10-minute overtime. So, wow, that's an extra 60 minutes. But nevertheless, the game was exciting. Plus, it was crazy too. I don't know if you were watching it, Yak, but they had a sack. Toledo gets the sack, thinking the game's over, but no, there's a holding penalty. Then Pittsburgh, they think that Toledo thinks they stop them and short of the end zone in the 2-point conversion. They celebrate again, and no, they overruled it.
Yeah, the
quarterback did get in.
All that stuff, yeah.
And finally, they got in. That was incredible. It was a fun game to watch for something that doesn't really have a whole lot of meaning. The players, they sure celebrated. Toledo, it's the second time that they beat a Power 4, I guess, team in a season where they had 2 wins over those Power 4 teams, I'm trying to say. So Toledo moves up 8-5, and then Pittsburgh 7-6. I don't even know what bowl game it was in. What was the game? I don't even know what game it was. Was it the Music City? Because it was in Detroit.
No, so it used to be not the AutoZone, the Motor City Bowl. They've since changed that name, but it's there at Ford Field. I don't remember what the name of it was. They keep changing names so often these days. Right,
yeah. And then the other game, I watched this game because a Big 12 team. It was the one in Phoenix that they played the Diamondbacks game.
The Rate
Stadium.
Bowl.
We went to that game. Yeah, my wife was watching the Rate Bowl. So what's the Rate Bowl? I said, I don't know. But and they, as you say, they've changed names so many times. The funny thing, they beat Rutgers. They were down big, and they had a huge rally, 44-41. That game was fun to watch too. Both those games were fun to watch. I watched both those games before it was time to pay attention to the Jazz. And Rutgers going down. It's funny, that's the second time they played. I think, it was called the Insight Bowl or something way back when. And several years ago, Rutgers played in that game. They played the Sun Devils, and I happened to be in town visiting family for Christmas. I went to that game. So they're back after all these years. Shiano taking them back there, and Rutgers goes down. And the Kansas State team wins. They rallied. So I think it would have been negative towards the Big 12 if they lost. Obviously, I don't know that it makes a big difference, but everybody else makes a big difference about this. And then today we got a bunch of bowl games, and you can check your local TV listings. I'm not going to go read through them. You can do it. And then there's some bowl games tomorrow. The playoff games happened while we were gone because we've been off most of this week. And, boy, that created a big stir there. I thought Herb Street saying that the wins don't matter, I thought it got taken out of context a little bit. I thought he was saying that it matters who you play, not just necessarily who you beat. But, man, all the folks that went after him, and then Shannon Sharp, who gave an opinion, and Stephen A. Smith gave an opinion about Ryan Day. Herb Street gives his opinion, say it'll be interesting to see what the First Take guys have to say now. And then Sharp took exception to that. So Sharp's allowed to give an opinion, but if on Ryan Day possibly being fired, but if Herb Street gives an opinion on Sharp's opinion, Sharp can get upset and basically threaten him. Okay, so he's allowed to give an opinion, but if Herb Street wants to give an opinion off the opinion, he can't give it. Not really sure that makes too much sense to me. So check your local listings. I'm not a TV guy. I'm not going to tell you what's on TV. You can look for yourselves. Let's move on to the hockey.
#NHL.
The hockey team, man, the hockey club. Colorado Avalanche tonight at the Delta Center, 7:30. ESPN 2, it'll be on at 7:30 tonight. They continue to play exciting hockey. Lost in overtime the other night. So there you go on that. They're 16-12-6. Coverage begins 6:30 with Utah Hockey Night right here on the Sports Zone. That is what's trending. Coming up at the top of the hour, we got Lockman talking about the Jazz. 8:30, we got Brian Howell, beat writer for Colorado. 9 o'clock, it's Friday. It's our guy. And so our guy, who is our guy? Our guy's Kevin Graham. Yeah, he'll be there talking about all things football, what's going on, what does he think? He's a football connoisseur, plus he's just fun to talk to. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. DJ and he's checking in coming up next, and we start talking about the big bowl game tomorrow for BYU. Stay with us right here on 97.5 Sports Zone.